Hello, Aquarius. Aquarius was one of our signs that got a little shortchanged on the length of their message as we were trying to get 3 readings on one video previously. So Aquarius says collaborate on this card here. We'll go with that. I've got some things coming up on some pre-shuffles. Shovel. So shoveling to me, it's like hard work, and I see the Ten of Wands came out in a couple different decks. On my vice versa deck here, we've got the Ten of Wands, this hardship and carrying the weight, and it's almost like this guy is potentially carrying the logs, and there's a very large house. So I don't know if this is feeling like you're serving those that are entitled, or if it's like a community and you're doing the heavy lifting for the entire community, but yet while he's doing the heavy lifting, he's shown all alone. So sometimes it's like not the load that we have to carry, but the fact that nobody's walking with us when we're doing so, if you catch my drift. And I see the injustice, the back of the justice card here, looking out into the nighttime sky and feeling that things are unbalanced, that our words are going unrecognized, our value is overlooked or taken in stride or taken for granted. But there's a new set of scales on the front and a new sword on the front. So we can see that there's the sword and the new scales here, but then the broken scales and the broken sword. So maybe this is something where we're trying to correct something that's gone on. I'm splitting the deck to this hypnotized looking 7 of Cups, and here we have the Star card, the front of the Star card. So manifesting more options, more love, more. Something feels depleting, draining, and heavy for us. So a couple more things that came out on the pre-shuffle. Ten of Wands is remaining, and the backside of the Priestess. In that one, I'm feeling that, and the Hierophant did show himself too, and there's the keys here from that energy, and there's the red and the blue flames here. So it seems that there's an element of self-protection. A couple other things I wanted to just show real quick before we move on. Ready but waiting and consistency came out here after one of the first cards I saw was convince yourself and not others. So it's like, are you doing the lion's share of the work in some situation, or feeling that you're doing more than other people? It seems to be real or imagined. You feel somewhat taken for granted, or that you're doing more for everybody than others are. But it looks like in trying to convince people of your value, they're seeing less of it. It's kind of counterintuitive when we point out what people are doing wrong that doesn't make us feel comfortable. It makes them retreat further into their own nature in a lot of regards, unless they're really good at navigating those things. So yeah, you're not going to be able to convince others with words alone, I want to say, and this will probably come out. I also see on this deck, we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles popped out. So it's almost like you're bringing this endeavor, this that load of logs here. This is you being steadfast, reliable, trustworthy when they have something that needs to be done, whoever these individuals are over here, they know that you're going to deliver. And here's the Ace of Pentacles. So it may feel like you're being taken for granted. I'm not saying that you're not, but it seems to me that these people are valuing your ability to deliver and in a little bit of your humility at the same time. Kind of getting something about a vehicle driving around, hauling people around. Maybe it's the kids, taking the kids to all their stuff, or taking all of the I don't know, we'll stick with that one. So there's a situation that wants to come into balance, and somebody's ready for you to express something and waiting for you. Oh, and yeah, the consistency card. Yeah, the consistency, the dependability here. Scorpio got something like that too with the dependability card. Restraint and holding back. So ready but waiting, restraint and holding back. So maybe you're unapproachable in that you're stuck in this work mode and nobody appreciates me. And so they're not going to jump in and necessarily want to address that when you're feeling negative, right? They're going to hold back further. Or if you're implicating others, like you don't appreciate me, you don't do as much as me, maybe they're going to do even less. And so to bring this big Ace of Pentacles back into the situation, which is prosperity and connectivity, success, belonging, all of these things, earthly, material needs being rebalanced here. Somebody's waiting for a shift in the energy, and this may also be you. Shift, focus. I love how things just come out. So your consistency in certain ways may be at odds with the situation evolving beyond that. Yeah, there's something that you're rebelling against, this black sheep energy. It's like, I'm different. I'm the one that has more to do, but there's something else that reminds me. This caught my eye. So the Tao messages, one of them popped out, 63, also having to do with effort. So it says, act without doing, work without effort. Think of the small as the large and the few as the many. Confront the difficult while it's still easy. Accomplish the great task by a series of small acts. The master never reaches for the great, thus she achieves greatness. When she runs into a difficulty, she stops and gives herself to it. She doesn't cling to her own comfort, thus problems are no problem for her. So this is your consistency and ability to deliver. Your steadfastness is appreciated. It's a foundation that somebody hasn't necessarily had a lot of experience with. And so they're not certain how to prove to you their feeling state on that regard. But I think that you have an emerging need for that validation on the ego level that isn't necessarily because this person isn't going to be delivering this appreciation. It's some type of lack of appreciation from something else that you're still busy rebelling against. Maybe individuals were tough on you and now you're tough on yourself and you can't let yourself off the hook. This inability to feel that sense of relief and accomplishment and appreciation in the eyes of others is self-imposed. It's not receiving the compliments. It's only receiving the inner critic information. So make your work more enjoyable on some level, even if you go out and, for instance, we have chickens. Let's talk about the inglamorous job of shoveling the excrement. It's not great. It's stinky. It sucks. It's terrible. So it represents like the hard work done in relationships or in our own shadow ability. But that same excrement is also amazing fertility for amending soil. And so there's something here about don't fear that darkness coming up. If you can face what you're trying to convince yourself of, your value, your accomplishments, how much money that you're able to bring into the situation, or that other people need you to do all of these things, maybe you're jumping in and doing them without offering or allowing the other individual to pay you back. Maybe you're keeping some type of inequality where they owe you so that you don't have to fear them denying or rejecting or abandoning you. I'm just the messenger. Um, Sometimes these old habits can show themselves in all kinds of different ways where we thought, wow, I don't have jealousy. I don't have fear at 11:11. We all have fears. Um, So, yeah, if something comes up, you're willing to stop and to take care of the tribe. And even though others have trouble showing it, once you can feel validated by your own self and feel that you've done enough, if you can itemize or journal or look at the evidence of what you've accomplished, you will feel a sense of accomplishment. That look at everything you bring to the table. It's like, look at me and what I bring to the table and to the circumstance, to the workplace. It's like maybe you're the grunt at some um, company and you're ready for some type of advancement or momentum to take its course, but continue to work on the way that your attitude and your connectivity with your inner process can, your consistent efforts are being shown, and an outburst or an attitude malfunction or a misunderstanding of others and their ability to appreciate you can interrupt you gaining the momentum towards this level up. So under the Tao deck, we have number 10. And here's good for you. Can you coax your mind from its wandering and keep to the original oneness? Can you let your body become supple as a newborn child's? Can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? This need to control, to convince others of your value. Can you deal with the most vital matters by letting events take their course? Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? Giving birth and nourishing, having without possessing, acting with no expectations, leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue. So, shifting your focus from the appearance of being some type of workhorse into shifting your focus that I do things that no other individuals do as well, or that they won't do, can't do, and that it's not about the inglamorous whatever that's coming up. It's about the meaning of it. I do this because it's important for me to grow a garden and to see the blooms. And yeah, so don't hold back your own affections and recognition of your own value, but doing it in a different way, being more playful and fulfilled with your work is important. Sagittarius, that night energy is, I believe, a Taurus energy, but the nights in general are Sagittarian. There's something about movement ready but waiting. So there's as you shift your focus, there's new opportunities, new truths emerging. Secret admirer. So somebody admires your work ethic, and you want others to notice you and to feel their way through you. Maybe you're having trouble expressing yourself through other ways, but there's this pragma situation, baggage needing a little more healing. And look for a sign if you're feeling timid, but it appears that something is on the brink of moving or shifting for you. And somebody really appreciates you deeply. As I pulled out, I want to marry you. Low vibrational entities, lower attachments, and completion, leveling up. That's great. Healing, extrovert, and chakra activation. Be still and integrate these chaotic energies. Rebalance yourself through meditation. You're going to feel more forthcoming and more. I want to say the word loose, more in your own energy, less rigid. Yes, supple as the newborn baby, supple as a newborn child. Yes, there's this healing process that's like you're very rigid and waiting and expectant while you're feeling this one energy, but that energy is shifting. These low vibrational attachments and energies are probably the old experience of feeling judgment and like bullied in the family dynamic, being the one that was different, looking to find your niche through being useful and accommodating. And those individuals don't appear to have ever really given you any substantial validation or approval. And it's probably not going to be forthcoming. So be true to yourself and don't keep speaking to the haters. Hubba hubba. I go where you go. Convince yourself, not others. Again. So, this can also be in a relationship. I will, I think, get some more tarot for you. Earlier disappointments were just rehearsal for the great stuff coming your way. Karma is on your side because you've been consistent and doing your work, and your intentions were somewhat pure, trying to serve the world with your collaborative energies and your willingness to do what other people wouldn't or couldn't. You're pouring from your cup into the cups of others, and that tells us that it's so important to fill your own cup first so that you're not trying to pour from an empty cup or pitcher. Friction, yes. Friction and ready but waiting again. So if this is in a partnership, that's that dynamic where this person is like wrestling with something and this person is got this dove of peace waiting, and they've got that muddy aura around their head. It's like they're transmuting it with the purple energies, but some of the projections coming from the one individual to the other are a little bit hurtful and probably on both ends of things, but there's a lot of rebalancing coming into the situation. So in the I Ching book, there's this entry that says something about early friction, such as the masculine and feminine coming together with the ultimate goal of becoming a couple. There's a lot of things that need to work their way out of the dynamic up front, and sometimes that early friction lends itself to things such as chemistry And without friction, is there as much chemical attraction to work things out, to soften the energies, to seek for one's willing surrender? And yeah, so rebalancing this dynamic within yourself is going to really help heal your partnership. And you may already be married, and because of the comment about hauling the kids and doing the work, yeah, and it looks like this the lower vibrational attachments are really, they're showing themselves to you, and you're able to shift your focus. So, all right, let's see. On the bottom of the deck, absence. The other day, absence makes the heart grow fonder came out. That's interesting to me. We've got that horse again. So maybe you have prominent Sagittarius in your chart, or maybe your partner is a Sagittarian. But kind of sensing that this individual has been busy doing their own thing. They've been distracted. You've been filling the gap in some type of a way. And there's a little bit of potentially resentments coming up, productivity. So I may be speaking to a masculine who's dealing with a feminine. You know who you are. Absence and productivity. So if there's been some separation in your energy, even on the energetic level, this time has both of you holding back and potentially creating tension where both of you want to be warm and inviting and physical or intimate with each other, but both of you feeling distance while you're going through this level up phase, purging your own inner fears and darkness. So let's see, anything else? Now context is coming out here. So the context of your situation may or may not be different than what we're talking about here, but I'm sensing that that card is talking about, if I knew the details of your situation, it would be more easy for me to talk about details, but you have the context of your life and the context of this other individual's life are different, and you're assisting each other. Alliance and preservation. That's very interesting. Preservation is like the self-rebirth. This is the shift in focus here, letting something a dying dream. Okay, perhaps you're fearful that a marriage or partnership is on its way out, because maybe your partner is the one that has these lower vibrational entities or attachments, and there is an injustice where you have been doing more of the work here. But if something is in its death throes and it needs to go, you will understand and know. But I'm sensing that it's an attitude that needs to go, and to preserve those things about yourself that were authentically yours from the beginning, and to lay to rest any of those lower vibrational attachments, to appreciate their showing up for you to help you to cope with previous situations, but allowing those old systems and thought forms to be laid to rest, because they belong to external judgments that were projected onto you from an early age. And to then, as these things are purged from your energy field, that's when you can get back into that inner child work that helps you to work with your alliance, with your partners in your business and your inner fire, to that medicine wheel showing up is about healing the inner self. And there's your consistency card with the sun. Better days are on their way to you now, and you're lighting your own self up. You're withdrawing this codependent energy from other individuals and lighting yourself up, being willing and able to feel happy about yourself. It's like self-validating prophecy. Yeah, by knowing that you've got it, you feel fulfilled, no longer needing anyone's approval. Renews your sense of self and creates a huge amount of healing. Two more here. Specialization. I like that one. So you have a specialty that you do either with your work or otherwise that maybe you don't feel efficiency. Maybe you don't feel that you're as good at it as you think you should be, and you're judging yourself here. But there's you have a spiritual alliance, and so your gifts may be specializing in some type of healing work, self-healing, self-renewal, and these old burdens of other people's judgments are allowing you to renew your energies and be more efficient and effective and focused on your spiritual alliance and your realignment with your core self. So let's see if there's anything else through this other deck that wants to come up. The moon, imagination, and perception under the deck here. I forgot to show that one. So imagination versus perspective and perception. It's like, is it real or is it not? Eight of Shells, quest and renewal. Yeah, it's the star representing where are we pointed at, not where we've been. We're heading towards greatness, tempering our emotions. This is also the card of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is playing very prominently in balance and harmony is what is being called out here. So rebalancing, creating that inner harmony. And Three of Crystals, collaboration and productivity. So Aquarius, getting that Eight of Shells with the starfish on it, I feel is you being in your own energy of walking away from what doesn't soothe and support you, even if it's those inner belief patterns that no longer belong and have no more growth potential for you. And you've got balance several times. So I see that you're pointing your arrow at better days. You're creating your own sense of fulfillment, and that's rebalancing your entire life here. So I think that for you, we've just got a few more moments. Let's just get you a Kelly Kuan Yin card. I didn't get this for Scorpio's reading. I should have. I really like these cards. We'll take that one that's poked out there. Bagla Mukti, 23. A lot of yellow and green energy. The creative heart space. She's got the tongue of her enemy in her one hand. Drink from the emerald fountain under the deck, number 7. So be able to self-nourish and replenish the heart space is really coming up with that emerald fountain. You may be working with gemstones. Bagla Mukti, it seems that she's becoming her own authority in her life. I do love reading these, and I know we're running a little bit short on time here. But there's a lot of inner authority and inner validation that's coming here, and no longer playing small because of the judgments of others. You're laying that to rest, and you're standing in your full power and truth. And in that way, you're able to come to your partnerships renewed. Burning golden light of divine protection, she arrests the flow of negativity, particularly that of our own making. She is divine intervention and sacred activity. She transforms our karma from that which hinders our joy to that which creates true happiness and bliss for ourselves and all beings. As you seek refuge in her, you are protected from gossip, slander, any form of negativity from others, a positive turning of the tides and of fortune is predicted. Yeah, didn't we say that here? Through your consistent efforts and your healing and your rebalancing, you are stepping through old judgments. She is the eighth of the Mahavidya wisdom goddess, and she's a beautiful avatar of Kali, known for her golden light. Let me skip down here. She has the power to paralyze or immobilize. She's known for pulling the tongues out of demons, which seems gruesomely at odds with her beautiful appearance. But along with Stambhara, she has a deep spiritual significance. So the tongue is the symbol of speech. Speech is sound expressed with intention, that vibration that becomes matter. Sound is a creative power. Intention gives it direction. To pull out the tongue of a demon is to end its capacity to create trouble. It is Stambhara in the sense of aborting or stemming the flow of negativity. Baglamukti halts negativity in its tracks, preventing it from doing any harm, nullifying its power to cause havoc. It's an act of protection. If you or another have said words that you regret, you've heard some nasty gossip or jealousy or hatefulness stemmed from somebody's lips akin to a curse, trust that your spiritual refuge will nullify its effect. So trust in this process. Just keep investing in your center, and you will surpass this obstacle. It's just a test. So take care of you, and please like, share, and subscribe, and check out some other readings in the meantime. Talk to you soon, guys.